last week we talked about Hezekiah, and he was a good king for Judah. And he ruled for a long time. And God performed the miracle of saving Jerusalem from King Sennacherib of Assyria during his reign. Unfortunately, his son did not worship God. And that was a sad time in Judah's history. But Hezekiah's grandson, Josiah, became king when he was 8 years old. So Joshua's 7, and you're 7, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're 5?
6.
6. Okay. I missed your birthday there. So just a little bit older than you guys. He became king of the whole country. Can you imagine being king of the whole country? You'd probably enjoy it, huh?
Someday I'll be 8, like that guy.
Someday you'll be 8 like Josiah was. Josiah was a good king. He loved the Lord. One of the first things he did was he commanded that they rebuild, well, not rebuild, but refurbish the temple. Maintenance hadn't been done, and every building needs to have maintenance done on it to keep it in good condition. And that hadn't been being done for a long time. So Josiah commanded that they did the maintenance on the temple. While doing the maintenance, they found the Mosaic Law, and he read it, and he reinstituted it in the country. They had got away from doing what God had told them to do. He also went to the altars Israel had put up. Now, remember, Israel has been destroyed. They're not really there anymore. Assyria carried them away into the neighboring countries. But the altars that way back that Jeroboam had built were there. And the people were still sacrificing to false gods on those. Now, I don't know if you remember, when Jeroboam was doing that, God sent a prophet and said, there will come a king who will destroy these altars and who will burn human bones on them in order to make them unfit to ever be used in worshiping false gods again. Do you remember that story? Well, because it was a long time ago we studied that story. Do you remember that? If you don't remember the story, you don't remember the name of the king that was going to do this. That was the story where the guy left, disobeyed God and ate in the town, and he left and then was killed by a lion. Still not ringing a bell? Okay. But do you remember, so you don't remember the name of the king that was prophesied several hundred years before? His name was Josiah. It was this Josiah that went to those altars that Jeroboam had built, and he destroyed them, and he burned human bones on them so they would be unfit to be used in pagan worship ever again. While they're in the process of doing this, they're digging up graves, and he said, okay, who's that grave? And someone said, oh, you know what? That's the prophet that prophesied you were going to do this. So he said, you know what? Let's leave him alone. Let's find some other bones to burn. But they did. They destroyed the altar just like God had promised hundreds of years before. And all his life, Josiah served God, and he was a good God, a good king for Judah. His son, not so much. His son was a very bad king. His grandson was so bad he only ruled 3 months. And it was in his grandson's time that Judah will cease to exist, just like Israel. But we'll get into that next time. God controlled things and had happen what he wanted to happen. And that's the same God we serve. That's the same God that we can choose to follow for our whole life. And isn't that cool? He knew hundreds of years ago we were going to be here today. Let's sing our song. Okay, this little light of mine, this is my candle, and it represents the light God puts in my heart when I choose to serve him. Okay? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. shine. Jesus gave me the light, and I'm gonna let it shine. Jesus gave me the light, and I'm gonna let it shine. Jesus gave me the light, and I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Won't let Satan it out. I'm gonna let it shine. Won't let Satan it out. I'm gonna let it shine. Won't let Satan it out. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Thank you.